Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Data Toolkit. And in today's session, we will talk about the data warehouse. If you see my video, the first the part 1 data warehouse, I have covered almost 15 topics. So in today's session, we will more talk about the real-time scenarios and the examples of the data warehouse and data lake. So if you see, if we are building any data warehouse, there must be some purpose to create the data warehouse. So let's understand what is the purpose, process and the policy of the data warehouse. So for example, I want to measure my sales data or analysis customer report. So whenever we build the data warehouse, we have a very specific purpose and outcome. If we talk about the process, we have to bring the data from multiple sources. Or the sources can be a data file, can be a file, it can be a database, or can be a file or any application like sales or the marketing. So for example, suppose I want to measure expenses and these expenses can come from any application like sales application, marketing application. So if we do not integrate it, we can't measure it, right? So integrating means bringing data into same way and same format. So here we can take one example. So what BA can do here, how these expenses is measured. So there may be some code generic or there may be some other systems. So it will mark all. So these two applications sending me data for same expenses. So that will not be consistency. So that is where we make sure that we standardize and measure the consistency. And whatever data we have, that data always consistent. It is called process. So if we talk about the policy, it gives me snapshot or the views as per given time. It does not change. That is called time variant. And this is the non-volatile guys, not the on-volatile. This is a spelling mistake. Here it should be non-volatile. So non-volatile means what? Once the data comes in data warehouse, we do not delete the data, we persist. So let's consider in transaction system, you have to update the values like 2 to 4. So what you will do here? You will delete and add 4. Our second choice, you will overwrite it. So in data warehouse, you have both the 2 and 4 measures, but they both are associated with the times. So all the transactional data changes are maintained into the data warehouse. Now let's talk about the components of the data warehouse. So you can see here, this is the my source and this is my consumption. So in this source, there are a different type of sources like order execution, order management, client management. And in consumption, you can talk about the reports like anything, any application, like it is more about the reports and analysis. So reports, dashboards, alter, okay. So where some activity are always happening in the source and it is capturing and generating the data. So if we talk about the change identification, it more towards to data engineer. Source can be anything here, okay, and this change identification is more technically on the data engineer. If we talk about the data profiling, it is more towards the business analytics, like to understand the data, behavior of the data, metadata, right? For example, there are a field that contain the null value, so that is containing the null value or not, like that. Then data discovery, this is more about the business perspective. For example, what is the product, what value it will contain, this is about the discovery. So respected team need to understand these things. For example, BA will know that what kind of information, business information we can say, it capture, then what it will capture, what it will measure. If we talk about the data analysis or the ETL developer, then they will understand how the data stored, how data retrieved and connected, how the changes captured. Then we should understand who is owing the data, quality of data, the rules in the data warehouse. So there are three rules we can say: data quality, data security, and data ownership. If we talk about the data quality, then you are working on the ETL tool, or means someone is working on the ETL tool, right? So must knowing it why we are applied, not null, right? So we make sure null values are not coming for the particular value. That's why we are applying this rule. So for example, in business perspective, if that field is important and must contain value, then I apply this rule. So all these three rules is need to understand and bring it together. So if we talk about the another example, like value, whatever value I have, that should not be repeated and I want the unique value, then we will apply another rule. This is called the data quality, we can check. If we talk about the data security, then limited access to the user have in the data security for the security purpose. And if we talk about the data ownership, then data ownership is nothing but the in the team who take the decision about data, what is right or wrong about the data. It's all comes under into the data ownership. Now let's talk about the data lake. So data lake is storing the data in native format. It can be RDBMS, or it store or support all the data types, or for example structured data, unstructured data, or semi-structured data. So data lake can be source for the data warehouse. For example, if data lake is not present, okay, so source can be directly come to the data warehouse. This is possible. Whenever we have to move, we need the transformation, where we can use the transformation, we can filter our data, we can clean our data, we do the cleansing and filtering. Okay. So one question is here guys. For example, if data we can directly take it from the source to data warehouse, then what is the purpose of this data lake? Without data lake also we can take the data or take the source from this data source to the data warehouse. So answer of this question is, and the purpose of the data lake is to have the less load on the source here. So if anyone want the data, they will hit the data lake, not the source system. So mostly for the downstream sources, we need the data lake. And data lake have some, for that they have some different architecture. So if we talk about the consumption, I already said that it can be any application like report, dashboard, alter, downstream, anything. And if we talk about the metadata and the master data, then metadata is the information about the data size, like size of the data it is stored. And if we talk about the master data, then here is one question again, like the master data comes into the data warehouse, yes or no? So answer is no, it is separate activity. And if we can build the mastering into the data warehouse, then answer is yes. Again, one more question we can discuss here guys. Can data warehouse contain real-time data? So answer is yes. So for the real-time data, we called it as a active data in the data warehouse. Okay. So normally we are using the batch processing to bring the data from source to data warehouse. Okay. Which data is run multiple times. We call it as a macro batches. Now let's talk about the related terms into the data warehouse, that is the data modeling, data masking, orchestration, CDC, business intelligence, ETL and data mesh. So if we talk about the data modeling, so data modeling means how we are going to structure or store the data into the database. It is called data modeling. So when we go for data warehouse, we use the dimension modeling where it captures the measures of the set of the table and number of store into the table, that is called fact table. So for example, we can talk about the expenses. I want to measure my expenses, so it will be land to the fact table, and department is one table. For me, I want to measure the expenses for hourly, daily, monthly or days. So it will be a time or day is another dimension table for me. So guys, here department time date is my dimension tables. So why we change the model? Again one question. So we change the model because when we go to the transactional model and we build the extract information using query, it requires lot of join and condition to get the result. Instead of this, we are using dimension. It is the faster and very specific because here we are measuring only or we are capturing only the specific measurement. Now data masking. Data masking is nothing but in the masking we are hiding the data with original value. Then orchestration. So in the orchestration means we can say movement of the data or the moving data or coordinating data flow we can discuss here. Like for example, I want to bringing my data. We are bringing the data from source to lake or source to stage or stage to data warehouse. So make sure that it run one after another flow. So this come under into the orchestration. If we talk about this EDC, then it is identifying the changes data, like data is inserted or updated. So why CDC is important? Because we cannot process our complete data on daily basis. So that's why CDC is important to understand or to identify the changes into the source. And if you talk about the business intelligence, then business intelligence more toward reporting the data analysis. And if you talk about the ETL, that is extract, transfer and load. We can extract, we can transfer and we can load the data by using some transformation. We can do the transformation logic here, or as per the business logic, we can do the mapping and we can load the data here. Then data mesh. If we talk about the data mesh, it is decentralized data architecture that organizes the data by specific business domain. For example, sales and marketing. So this is all about the data warehouse related topic, guys. So today summaries we covered the what is data warehouse, purpose, process, policy, then component of the data warehouse we have seen here, and related topic. So if you have any query, any questions, please comment me. And if you feel this video is informative, please like, comment and share my videos. Thank you.